Well, welcome to another episode of the Krazy Geezer podcast. And the gentleman who's my guest here, I have to thank because he lit a fire under my ass. I haven't been on the podcast for a few months due to health reasons, which I'll create another video to explain. But meanwhile, Josh is here. Let's talk.
Hello, everybody. I'm Josh. I am a actor, video gamer, music snob, pretty much just an all-around guy. I'm here hanging out with Krazy Geezer Productions here, aka Chris. We worked on a film together. Do you mind if we talk about that real quick?
As long as Xander's okay with it. That's Xander Goldman, the director, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So we were on a film called Crimson Harvest that is coming out sometime this year. And we just started talking on set, and then pretty much it just started from there. And he wanted me on the podcast, and I said, sure, absolutely, I would love to be on your podcast. The more podcasts, the better for me. So now here I am to talk about me, talk about life, talk about what Chris does. Just gonna have a good time.
Exactly. And we did meet at the set of Crimson Harvest. I showed up as a production assistant. Personally, I just want to brag or rights to say I work for Xander Goldman. And while you were shooting your scenes, I think you were there because I said it 100 times and it probably got annoying. I dug a hole.
Yeah, yes.
For one of the props because that's what Xander wanted that day.
Yeah. Yep, I remember it.
I still nerd out about the I dug a hole.
I dug a hole.
Hey, people thought it was cute.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you're laughing. That's a good sign.
Oh yeah, it is a good sign. I mean, it's weird for like people like you and me, like who are on like these new and upcoming movies that do have like big people like in these films, and we're like, yeah, I did this in this film, I did this in this film, and people are like, oh, you did that. It's like, no, you don't understand though. I was on set with blah 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 and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and people are like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And then now you see why I'm nerding out over it,
Well, when I first arrived on set the first day, I kept my expectations low. I was there to work, pro bono, of course, because I always help out my friends, and it turned out to be much more like I met you, I met Jack, I met Fiona, I met her husband Frank or Fuzzy, met Xander, met Rick.
Yep.
Robert Todd Kennedy, as everyone calls him Todd, I call him Robert because that's how I met him.
Yeah. RTK is a good dude, man. He's a really good dude.
Who Robert Todd Kennedy?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, great dude. I mean, he's been in so many things. Like he was even in Stream, which I didn't know for the longest time. He was just like a party guest or whatever. And I'm like,
yes.
Like, how the hell did you land that gig? He's like, I don't know. I was just asked to do it. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. Why not?
He told me a different story, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It was like he knew somebody. I think that's what he told me, if I remember the story correctly. Like he knew somebody that was on set, or he knew Doug, I think. Doug, oh my gosh, what is his last name?
Start with an H?
No, with a P.
No,
he was on the Crimson Harvest set. He was like the real bulky dude with all the tattoos, kind of bald head. I don't know if you remember him or not.
What did he play not the sheriff, but did he play the police chief?
No.
Okay.
That was you're thinking of, I think no, not JJ. No, what the heck was the other guy's name? He was from.
Was it Mark Haynes?
No, not Mark Haynes. No.
Okay.
No, there was another guy. His name's Doug. He's like a location manager or something like that. Like I guess he helped Xander score down a location for filming and whatnot. But anyway, he was in the film, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Robert said that like he knew Doug, and then Doug said, "Hey, we could use people," and that was it.
No, that is freaking cool. And Robert said he's been doing this for at least 5 years.
Yeah, and just look at the stuff that he's done in 5 years. Like, it's just amazing the credits he has and all the independent films that he's been doing. I mean, he does not turn down a role. Like, I don't think I think he turned down like 1 or 2, he said, because it was just like, he had to travel super far, wasn't getting paid, and he was like, well, if I'm not getting paid for this, do I really want to do this? Because it is going to cost me a pretty penny to do all this stuff. So,
yeah, I mean that I've heard the flip side of working in independent movies where you have to pay, because it's a perk, and you're responsible for your own travel and hotel and things like that.
Yeah, which I will openly admit that's what I had to do for Crimson Harvest. But I had I talked to Xander prior to doing anything. So Xander found me randomly 2 years ago, just about on Facebook. And I go to conventions like all the time. And when I saw the request, I'm like, I know this guy's face from somewhere. I'm like, where do I know him from? And then I was looking through pictures, and I was like, oh, he's the guy that's next to Felissa Rose at most of the cons that I go to. That's why I know who he is. And so then after that, I met him at New Jersey Horror Con, like, I think like almost 6 months later or something like that. And I was talking to him in person about Crimson Harvest and whatnot. And he was like, yeah, let's make a phone call. Let's talk over the phone about the details of, what I have an idea as a character for you. Because I gave him like history, the whole 9 yards and all that. So once we were done talking, he made up a special perk for me and for my character. And I was like, that's actually not bad considering what I'll be getting. And then actually when I was on set, I actually got way more than what we had talked about on the phone, which I was not expecting whatsoever.
Like what? Don't give too much away if you can't.
Yeah. So I was told, yes, I was going to have lines and all that, but I had more lines than we had actually talked about, and more things happened in the movie than we had originally talked about, which I think he was just, so appreciative of the people who were at least like contributing to the film, who were trying to take it seriously. He's like, you know what? I'm going to help these people out. I'm going to give them more than what they already were told that they were going to get. I think he was doing it as like a kind gesture out of his heart. So, and I'm very grateful for it.
I can give you an example of an act of kindness from Xander Goldman if you want me to share.
Sure, absolutely.
It might have been day 3 or 4 for me. It was only 4 days of shooting. I was available to participate in, and there was a moment where I don't think you were there. It was the farmhouse scenes.
Yeah, I was not at the farmhouse scenes. No.
Yeah, I would have known otherwise because I would have remembered you instantly.
Yeah,
but no. I was asked to. So Xander's got his megaphone. He's like, Chris. And me being former military, I double time because it's like you can see me approaching you. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to double time.
Yeah.
First thing, right as soon as I started, double timing, he's like, "Don't run." With the megaphone, he's like, "Don't run."
Wow. Wow, that's unusual for somebody to say.
But then that's when I realized what you literally just said about Xander. He's very understanding, compassionate, giving.
Yeah.
And it's like he appreciates everyone who's there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And like even the girls that I had shot with in the film, like he did so much more for them and like, just helped them out because like he was appreciative of them just being there and being a part of this film. And I think that's what kind of set him apart, because one thing he told me when we were talking on the phone, he said to me that I've been on crappy independent film sets and crappy like no paid gigs and whatnot, and people are like super drunk and people are like super whacked out of their minds, and he's like, I don't want any of that on my set. I just want it to be, we're going to be here to make a good film and we're going to enjoy our time here, and I'm going to make it as like personable as I can for people, depending on what they're doing in the production of the film. And I really saw that after like day 1 of shooting. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a great first experience I ever had.
I can't argue that because it's only been a few projects in the last year and a half and change, and there were some problems on a couple of sets, but I do have to say, like, I promised myself once I got back in the business that no matter what happens, no matter how bad things get, I maintain my professionalism and keep my cool and just get through the shoot.
Oh yeah, that's
my work ethic, just like yours.
Yeah, that's the key thing when it comes to being in independent films that I have noticed in my short amount of time right now is just be yourself, just be cool, don't question anything, just do what you're told to do, and it'll be a nice easy ride for you, and you won't have any problems with people.
No, you said it.
Yeah,
you definitely said it.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been since Crimson Harvest, I have been in, let me think, excuse me, about 3 other projects since then, and when I have told people that I was in Crimson Harvest, Xander Goldman, Felissa Rose, Robert Mukes, and all that, people are like, oh, yeah, we definitely want you. That's freaking awesome. You're a part of that and whatnot. And I think because of jumping the gun and finally actually doing something that I've wanted to do for years, I think now has like slowly been like snowballing an effect that I may not see, but I know it's happening. You know what I mean?
It feels surreal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just feels odd that like I'm doing something that I've only dreamt about doing, and I always thought for years, oh, I'll never be good enough. I'm not an actor. I'm not this. I'm not that. Whatever. And then I do the thing, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm an actor. Like,
that's right.
I just couldn't believe it. Like, my scenes, most of it were about 1 to 2 takes for the most part. Yep. I mean, certain scenes, yeah, took longer because we were doing multiple different angles, multiple different ways and stuff like that. But the special things I had to do in the film was like a 1-take done deal. And people were just like, how are you doing that? Like, how'd you do that in 1 take? It's like, I don't know. I just did it.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, you showed up to put the work in. So that alone is, half the battle.
Yeah, and like, dude, when I got there, it was like literally my brain like switched a gear, and I was like a totally different person. And like I didn't think about my job. I didn't think about anything else. I was just like, I'm focused on this. Let's just do this, and let's make this the best we can.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's I'm excited for that film to come out, Crimson Harvest. And if people haven't seen the trailer, they need to watch the trailer. The trailer is really good.
And I'm going to provide a link in the description below so people can check it out. I'll, before I do that, of course, I'll make sure Xander's okay with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Xander Goldman, it's all his fault for everything because all the people I worked with is somehow connected to Xander Goldman.
Yeah,
and you're no exception either.
Yeah, and what's funny is I've been seeing Lou Temple more than I have in the last like 10 years, and it's all because of Xander Goldman.
There's another actor I want to give a shout out to. He's been on my podcast before, and I met him at the New Jersey Horror Con last year. Handsome Danny Langston.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool, man. That's cool.
He's been on the show. He's a cool dude. You already know this. He's a good friend also. I mean, we have a lot in common, and, he has the same mind frame as we do. And
yeah.
You said it not enough times, but there's so many people on that cast and crew that are just it's like a who's who.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. And it's just
one.
It's just like a big network is basically all it is. That's basically all that set was.
And then it manifests into other things and branches out to other things like, hey, let's work on this project or that project. And it could be anything.
Yeah. And like I said, anybody listening out there, if you need somebody to do whatever, if it's within a reasonable traveling distance, I will make it the best I can. I'm, like I said, willing to do any role there is. The more roles, the better for me, because it just looks better on my part. So,
I if I'm allowed to say it, if for anyone watching this and you want to hire Josh here, see if you could pay him. Because he's going out of his way, and I want to see anyone paying their dues get a break.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No worries. I mean, this is your first role. I'm hoping going forward you'll get a paid gig. I hope.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. I told you recently, I had a couple of projects where I actually they were paid gigs. I'm not going to say what movies and how much, but it was like it hits you when you least expect it.
Yeah, and it's funny you say it too, because when we were talking prior to the show, we're going to be on a set together here actually on the 4th of April, and it's my first paid gig, and it's probably your third now. Second. Okay. So your second, my first, and hopefully from here on out, we'll be getting more of those. I'm really, really hoping in the future for us.
So I talked to Fiona, or Fee, shout out.
Shout out Ferocious Fee.
She, I can't say enough good things about her. I just can't. I mean, she loves all of us. She cares for us. She wants to see us succeed. Meanwhile, we help her succeed because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, once again, hits you when you least expect it. And then I told Fee, it's like, and I want to say this to you too, Josh, that it's not the money I care for. It's the experience. So I become better at what I do, so I can contribute more on set.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
It's really all about that for me.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. And it's not always about the money. I'll flat out just say it is not always about the money, but it is a nice gesture, but it's not, it's not required though. So in just experience alone, I think pays more to you than a dollar bill does.
Yes.
And
also, I thought about, not speaking for you, but I thought about, with the money I made and going to make going forward, I could just invest that into more equipment here in the studio.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean,
because I got guests who want to be on set, on location here in my studio in the mystical land known as Delaware. And I'm like, well, I don't have a setup for that yet. Oh, well, I'll show you. Okay, but I don't know how it's going to work. The room is very tiny. And, it's like my house is tiny, but it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to say no to a challenge. I might be hesitant, but I'm not going to say no.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. And even for me, like I want to even start doing like, I don't know, maybe like a monthly podcast or something where I have like somebody I've met in my life come on to the show and we just talk about just, life, experiences, whatever. And we just enjoy each other's company. I mean, that's basically what it's going to be about. And we're just going to be, sitting in front of my what is it, 55-inch TV I think I have over there, and we'll just like throw a movie on, but have the volume real low. But like as we're talking, we'll be like, hey, look at this happening in this scene. You want to know how they did this scene and blah, 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 blah. And then just talk about that, and like I said, just enjoy each other's company. It's a very relaxed, laid back experience. I still have to come up with a name and a theme for it, but I think I have the right idea in my head. I just need to apply it onto like paper to see how it would work, Do
you mind terribly if I give you a few pointers?
Sure.
Be yourself 100%.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I plan to be. I plan to be 100% like open, myself, don't hold anything back kind of a deal. Because exactly. I find that those podcasts, like Joe Rogan, for example, is a big prime example of just being yourself and being open. You get the point across. You don't sugarcoat anything. It's raw. It's true. It's real. And that's what people want to hear. They don't want to hear something that's sugar-coated and like fake. You know what I mean?
No, can't do it.
Cannot do it. I can't stand those podcasts. So
that's one of the reasons I have this podcast is so people can come on and not only plug whatever they're doing, but also be themselves, have fun, and talk about anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I have a question for you. Now, I see that your room is filled with like video games back there. I'm a big dork myself for video games. What is the most expensive video game you own?
Most expensive video game that I own? I can tell you the most expensive video game system that I have.
Okay, what's that?
The Nintendo 3DS XL Super Nintendo Edition.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
You know the 3DS XL, right?
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't know there was a Nintendo edition, though.
There was two of them. One's Super Nintendo, one's Nintendo. Nintendo was just a standard XL.
Okay.
The Super Nintendo version was a new Nintendo 3DS XL. On average on eBay about $1,000, but I got it at a good discount for about $600.
Wow, jeez,
it was the luck of the draw, I swear.
Man, you got lucky there.
Damn right I did. So as far as expensive games, I think these two would match your criteria. For the Wii U, I have Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Wind Waker is so fun.
I want to play Twilight Princess so bad, but my ADHD prohibits that for now. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude, I remember when Wind Waker came out on GameCube, and I was at a beach house. It was my mom was dating a person that I knew somebody I went to school with was like his like nephew or something, and
sure.
We're at this beach house, and he brought his GameCube, and he had Wind Waker, and I sat there and watched him play Wind Waker. I was like, this is the coolest Zelda game I think I've ever seen in my life, and like, I don't think anything could top this. But then, what was it? The one that came out for not Wii, I think it came out originally on Wii U, I'm pretty sure, which was Zelda. The sword in the title. I forget what the heck it's.
Skyward Sword.
Yes, that one. Thank you. Was that Wii U or was that the next console?
I'm pretty sure that was Wii U.
Yeah. So that one, when I saw that one come out, I was like, oh my gosh, they topped Wind Waker. Looks even better. It looks even more fun than Wind Waker. But I still have yet to play either one to this day.
Yeah, here's what I always say. If you're not sure, start from the beginning. Start with the ones on Nintendo.
And that's where, so that's funny you say it, because I started, my first ever console I ever owned was a Nintendo that was
nice.
hand-me-down from my cousin.
Nice.
And I had the gold Zelda cartridge. I had, what was the other games I had? I had Zelda, I had... Oh my gosh, what were the other games I had? I had like 4 games that came. Oh, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. And I think the Olympic game, the game where you had like the pad you had to run on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had that, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure those are like the 3, well, technically 4 games I had for the Nintendo, and like I played Zelda and like I got hooked to it immediately. And then I play Super Mario Brothers, and I was like, oh my god, Super Mario Brothers is so fun, I love this game. And then it just went off the rails from there pretty much. So
no surprise. And I've got a fair amount of Nintendo games too. The collection's still growing, but do you have like any holy grails on Nintendo that you have that means something to you? On
Nintendo?
I'll give you an example. I have Friday the 13th on Nintendo, autographed by Kane Hodder.
So I have a Friday the 13th Nintendo cartridge, but not in the original box. But it's not signed by anybody. I actually keep forgetting I have that, and I want to take it to get it signed, and I totally forget every time. But
maybe this summer or the spring at the Jersey Horror Con, if Kane Hodder's going to be there, that'll be your chance.
Yeah, if Kane's there, if I remember again, I will try to bring it.
Well, you and I can remind each other. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
because I want to see you get Kane Hodder's autograph on a Nintendo cartridge.
Well, actually,
it's one of the best things in the world.
Yeah, and to have Kane Hodder and to get Ari Lehman to sign it would be cool too. I would like to have both of them sign it.
The OG from the first movie.
Yeah, the OG man.
So shout out to Angry Video Game Nerd James Rolfe. He's going to be on my show eventually, and he did a review on the first Friday the 13th movie, and he made a valid argument that the scene where you see Alice on the boat, you think everything's okay, she's going to get rescued, and then of course Jason pulls her underneath the water. Should have just rolled credits right after that. Skip the hospital part.
So
I was like, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, I do actually have to agree on that. That would be a good ending, but then it wouldn't make part 2's beginning make sense then.
I think there's a workaround to that. Like Alice could have been killed at the end of the first movie, and then they could have, came up with something else, with the second. Maybe you and I could do another episode of the podcast here or on your show and figure that out. Again, that's brainstorming. I love brainstorming.
Yeah. No, I just think that if how the ending of 1 was, I don't think she would have been in part 2, even though they wanted to have her in part 2, but like her agent wouldn't agree on the pay or whatever, because she was worth a lot of money super fast because of how popular Friday the 13th the original was. So they had to kill her off because, like I said, they couldn't come to a financial agreement on 2. So, but as far as holy grails for Nintendo, trying to think because I'm looking at my shelf currently too. I do have like I said, I do have Friday the 13th. I have a triple cartridge. It's Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers, and the track and field game, signed by the guy who voiced Mario.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's me, Mario.
It's me, Mario. Yeah, that guy.
That was good. That was really good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I got to meet him in 2023 at, I don't know if you've heard of this convention, Too Many Games.
Who hasn't?
Some people haven't, believe it or not. I'm just...
You got to be living under a rock if you never heard of Too Many Games.
Yeah, really.
I mean, Too Many Games is where I met at least one of my guests off the podcast from a previous episode, Adam Shub. He's the bass player for Rex Viper.
Oh, okay.
He was on here. It was like the longest episode in the history of my show.
How long was it?
Almost 2.5 hours.
Holy Christ, that's a long time.
The man could talk, and I'll give him credit for that, and I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it was in 2023. I met Charles Manette, I think is how you say his last name.
I think so.
It was actually, believe it or not, that was my first ever convention I went to. Like, I never went to one prior to that.
Wow.
Yeah, and I saw he was going to be there, and this was when I was first dating my girlfriend that I have now. And I was like, hey, there's a video game and board game convention. I know you love board games, and I love video games. There's a convention going on, near where I live, because I used to live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania at the time when this was going on, so it was way closer. And I was like, hey, do you want to join me? She's like, oh, yeah, sure, and then we went, and soon as enough, we got into the front gate, looked to the right, and there's Charles Manette right down there, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Mario. I have to go meet him. Let's go. And because I didn't look at the guest list, I didn't look at nothing. I was just going there just to go there,
Sure.
And so I got pictures with him, and obviously this was like during like when COVID was still like kind of really bad and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like I had to wear a mask, unfortunately. Like they wouldn't let people in without a mask, which whatever. That's a whole nother story to get into. But overall, that convention was great. I had a great time. We actually got to meet Chum-Li from Pawn Stars.
No kidding. He was there?
Yeah, he was there promoting his, I can't remember what the game's called, but it's like an original game that it features him in it, and it's in an NES cartridge.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Like I said, I can't remember the name of it. I would have to look it up. I'll just look real quick. Chum-Li video game.
Go for
it. Chum-Li's Adventure: The Quest for Pinky. That's what it is.
It's a Nintendo cartridge?
Yeah, it's like they made a retro NES cartridge that you could play it in an original Nintendo if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I've seen a few games do that.
I'm sorry. This was 2021, not 2023. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, it was 2021.
That sounds more realistic because 2021 was we were just getting over COVID-19.
Yeah, it was 2021, not 2023. But yes, I was in shock. I was like, holy shit, Chum-Li's here? I'm like, what are the odds of me meeting Chum-Li at a freaking convention like this,
Exactly.
And I got a picture with him. He was really nice, really cool, really down to earth. But yeah, that convention, I had just a really good time with it. And it was, like I said, the first one I ever went to, and I'd definitely go back there. The last time I was there was, I think, 2024, I think, was the last one I went to, and I cosplayed as Dr. Disrespect, and I got all kinds of freaking hate. But like people, I don't know if you know the whole story about with Dr. Disrespect on like Twitch and all that jazz.
No, unfortunately not, but go ahead.
So just real quick. So basically he got banned. There's a big thing of controversy about what was happening behind the scenes with him, not as his character Dr. Disrespect, that like there was apparently, abuse allegations and stuff like that, but it all came out to be fake. And Twitch unrulingly banned him without him violating any terms. They just banned him because they heard accusations and they didn't want to take a chance and still employing him as like a independent contractor for Twitch. So they just outright I think somebody either texted him or emailed him, and he was checking his phone on his last stream on Twitch, and like instant mood change. Like he was just super depressed and like super just like, like my life's over kind of deal. And he just was watching this like Roblox video, which is so not like him whatsoever. Like he doesn't watch kid games kind of like that, And then after, he read this message that he had received. He's like, his subscribers are called the Champions Club. So he's like, okay, Champions Club, we're gonna get through this. Everything's gonna be fine. And then he just says, fuck, and then just cuts. And then you don't hear nothing for like a year and a half of like what happened. And then there was stuff that came out when I went to this convention, and it was from Twitch directly. But if you think about it, if a big time corporation like Twitch, for example, comes out and makes a statement, they can say whenever they want, and people will most likely believe it without fact checking anything,
Just like anything, but go ahead.
Yeah. So they were just like saying all this outlandish, like over the top stuff about what he did to get banned, which was found to be fake and not true. And then all the people coming up to me, seeing me cosplayed as Dr. Disrespect, were like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, and who told you that was true? Oh, well, Twitch said. I'm like, and you're going to believe a big multi-million-dollar corporation over a person?
Exactly.
Just saying. I would take the person over a corporation.
And this goes for anyone. If you hear accusations about anyone or anything, do your own research. Draw your own conclusions once you know the facts, and don't be so quick as to say you're guilty to prove it innocent. Yeah,
exactly. And that's just one thing I wish this world would understand is like big corporations can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want, and they can get away with it because they have the money to do it. Now, let's just say, I'm not saying any of this is true. Let's just say Twitch comes out and says, "Hey, Chris's podcast is horrible," or whatever, there'll be hundreds of thousands of people who'll be like, yeah, his podcast sucks because Twitch said it, so it must be true. It's like, did you actually ever watch it? Well, no, Twitch said it was bad. So you're going to take a corporation's word over like actually watching something yourself? It's kind of silly.
Well, another good example of that would be if say you and I worked with someone on set and was told quote unquote bad reputation, but then you find out that's not the case at all. You just sat down and just communicated with the person, in question. Yeah. And you found nothing wrong.
Right. 100%.
That's happened plenty of times in my life.
Yeah. And I have heard, now again, it's just people talking bullshit most of the time.
Of course.
But they're just like, oh, working with this person is blah, 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 blah. It's like, I worked with them. They were fine. Don't worry. You're just hearing bullshit. Don't listen to that. Oh, no. I'm telling you that they told me they did this. I'm like, did you hear the other side of the story? Well, no. Well, then you can't make a conclusion like that.
No, you can't.
No,
you have to hear both sides.
Yeah, you have to. You literally have to hear both sides in order to make a valid judgment. So, but yeah, again, that's probably my holy grail, though. Sorry, I'm like going all over the place with this, but
you're good.
But yeah, my holy grail for Nintendo, like I said, is that Charles Manette signed cartridge of the triple pack game.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So you have a Nintendo. What other systems do you have, if any?
I have, and I'm just looking over here. PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, original Xbox, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, PlayStation, like I said, PlayStation 3 and 4. I have a computer. What else do I have? I have a game stick on my 55-inch TV that has all like the classic games if you want to play any classic games. Xbox One also. PSP, Game Boy. I mean, I have a lot.
Let me see. So I have most of the systems you mentioned too. I also have a Sega Dreamcast. That
I don't have a Dream. Do I have a Dreamcast? No, I have a Genesis. I got that remade Genesis that came out like a couple years ago.
You talking about the mini one?
Yeah, it's like that mini one that you could put a cartridge in, but it has like 50 preloaded games on it or whatever it is.
Mine's got probably a few thousand at this point.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I want to get that Nintendo that came out. What was that, like 4 years ago or something like that? The one that had the preloaded games on it that everybody was after.
Are you talking about Nintendo, Super Nintendo?
Regular Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Well, I got one of those too.
Oh, the one that has the games already preloaded on it.
and that's probably got about 300 games in there with regular Nintendo and Game Boy Color.
Wow, good shit, dude. Good shit.
I've been in IT for 16 years, and no, I'm not going to tell you where I work because no one needs to know that, okay? No one needs to know where you work either.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a full-time job, and video game collecting and watching horror movies is just two of many hobbies. And one of my friends I served with a long time ago during my days in the United States Navy, every time I buy a system, he's like, "Did you jailbreak it yet?" I'm like, I don't want to de-virginize it. He goes, "Come on, Chris, we could do it.
De-virginize it."
That's what he said.
De-virginize. I've never heard somebody say that. That's really funny, actually.
It's like, come on, Chris. I know you could do it. You're smart.
Yeah. I mean, so
and then once it's done, it's like, you told me so.
Yeah, really.
It's like, I told you.
Yeah, for me, it's like with a system, okay, because I wouldn't say I'm a collector. I just don't get rid of my video games because I might want to go back and play them one day, and then I don't want to have to rebuy it at right. the inflation rate. So
especially now.
Oh yeah, especially now. It's
because not to sidetrack, but you've already heard the bad news about PS5s and the Switch going up in price because of tariffs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude.
Excuse my language, but it's complete utter bullshit.
Yeah, it is, and it's like they don't need to increase. I mean, maybe they do, but I don't think they actually have to raise the price because they make too much money as it is. Like what's like a few $100s, going to do to you or whatever? Like, it's not going to hurt anything. You're still making money off of the product regardless.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It's weird, but for me though, like I was saying, I don't get rid of my consoles. I don't consider myself a collector, but I do have some what you would say hard to find games because it's games I already enjoy. It's just like alternate copies or different box arts of games that I enjoy. So
that's fascinating because I always consider myself to be a I'm a collector, but I consolidate. Like for instance, I have up here on my shelf, you can't see it, but I have the Cowabunga collection of Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
it's got
nice.
every game that came out back in the day. It's all one collection and it's physical. It comes with a little card to go into the Switch. I'm happy with that. I don't need to have the Nintendo copies or the Super Nintendo physical copies. I mean, I can if I have the money and the time, but that was my whole life. It's been I've been consolidating my collection. I might branch out. And it's like, well, I got this, and I'm going to really boost my ego and get them all. And why not? It's your money.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, excuse me, for me.
So I changed. So what I'm saying is I changed I had to change a heart and change my perspective. It's like, this is just the start. I'll get the rest down the road. That's because I don't want my journey collecting to ever end, but it's going to inevitably, and I'll just find something else to collect.
Yeah, and that's
like vinyl records or something.
Yeah, right. Oh, dude, vinyl records. That is. Whew, I thought I knew stuff about vinyl records when I started buying them, but like, it's a whole nother world because there's so many like different variants of the same album. Like there's like little tiny things that you would not find unless you were told about it. Like, for example, one of my vinyl records is Black Sabbath's Master of Reality, but it's a Brazilian copy that is the lettering is all rainbow colored, which there was only like 500 made in the world. And wow. I have one of them that I paid a pretty penny for because I'm like, well, it's Black Sabbath. That's my favorite band of all time.
Don't mention the price, whatever you do.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not. So, but, yeah, and another one I have from Sabbath is their first album, which is like this, I think it's Polish. It's a Polish edition. And the Polish edition on the inside is the only version that I was told, but it could be different, that has the upside down cross in the insert on the inside of the record. And it has like 3 misspelled lyrics on it, which you can't find on any other version because I guess the translation was a little hard for them to decipher, so they misspelled words by accident. So
it makes them more rare and obscure too, right?
Yeah,
type of like that.
Yeah, to some degree it does. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's worth like thousands or whatever, but it's just it's a hard to find misprint is basically how I can describe it as.
That's the best description you can come up with, because that's literally true.
Yeah, exactly. But again, like with vinyls though, like that's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother thing that you got to do tons of research on what you're buying, because you don't know if you're buying like a legitimate copy. You don't know if you're buying a reprint. You don't know if you're buying the original. Like, there's just so many little tiny factors. That's what annoys me with vinyls, because it's like, I just want to get just the regular version. And it's like, well, there's 25 different versions of the regular version. And it's like, I just want a regular version. I don't care how many different versions of the original one there is, you know?
And you don't care how much they're worth either. You just want a copy.
Yeah, exactly. I just want a copy just to say I have a copy of it.
That's how I feel too.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you and I are simplistic when it comes to collecting vinyl.
Oh yeah, I'm not like I'm not like the one to find the rarest version of something or whatever, like, because I know that's way out of my price range. So like, just get me something I can afford, and I'll be happy with it.
Exactly, and then, you know, it's like it'd probably be best if it wasn't worth a lot of money. That way, that if something happens to the record, then you don't feel bad about, you know, whether it got unintentionally damaged, like a scratch or something.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't play them necessarily, but when I do play them, I play them for like a whole different bunch of records. I'll play them for maybe like an hour, because I'll hear like certain songs and I want to hear it in a different recording style. And when I hear it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so different than what I'm used to hearing. Because, you know, we're used to hearing everything digitally and with enhanced audio and all that jazz. So, but to hear it on a vinyl record, it's a totally different sound, and it's a totally different like feel of how you hear the song, because you hear all the tiny imperfections in the song. You hear like sometimes a little bit of the cut in the tape as well, which I find fascinating too. It's like, oh, that's where they cut it. That's where they cut it to put this part in, you know. Or you'll hear like in the background, like at the end of the song, you'll hear like, for example, like you'll hear the drummer like clearly putting his sticks down on the ground, or the guitar like turning off. Like you'll hear all the little things that you can't hear digitally, which you would think it'd be the other way around. You wouldn't hear it on vinyl and you would hear it digitally. But
right.
So, but yeah.
Wow.
But vinyl collecting at the end of the day, it's very expensive. It is fun, and it's cool that there's different like unique things out there, but you have to know what you're buying first before you buy it, because vinyl, there's a lot of bootleg stuff out there. And I mean, there's a ton of bootleg stuff.
It's endless.
And it's endless even with CDs. CDs are like the worst when it comes to bootlegs. Like,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
God, in the 90s, I couldn't tell you how many bands I found where there's like 30 different bootlegs of like different live albums, or like different EPs that they press, but they're not legitimate. They're not from the record label, but they look very deceiving. Like, oh, this could be from the record company, but people were just so good back then because they wanted to get their stuff out there, essentially, you know? So,
yeah.
But, let me ask you this. What is your favorite game that you have ever played?
I can tell you my favorite franchise.
Go ahead.
Resident Evil.
Good choice.
Resident Evil 9 Requiem, I didn't stream it live, but I beat the game to 100% in 15 days.
Wow, 15 days? That's it?
That's it. That's at 100%. And my first runtime was 9.5 hours, and that was done, I'd say, at about 36 hours after I downloaded the game, because that's what I did. Wow. I'm a physical collector, but with Resident Evil Requiem, it's almost impossible to get a physical copy.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a huge Resident Evil nut, and he was just at Creature Feature Weekend a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, I regret missing that, but it is what it is.
Dude, that was such a fun. I was actually working the con that weekend.
That's cool.
It was so much fun, and like, I met Charlie, the guy who played Chris Redfield in the original game. I met him. We're
friends on Facebook, by the way.
I met him at his first convention back in 23 when he was at Creature Feature, and he like had no idea how big this franchise was. Like, he was in complete shock. And I asked him it was on that Sunday, I was like, hey, how did you land the role for this? And how did you not know, like, this was you all these years and, like, you're an iconic character in the franchise? And the story that I recall him telling me was that he was living in Japan.
Yep.
And he was, I think, walking the streets or something like that. And, like, some guy approached him and said, hey, would you be interested in working on a film? I think, or something among those lines. And he's
Sounds
like,
about right.
He's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And then got in his outfit, did all the scenes and everything. They never told him what it was. They just said, hey, we just want you to be in this. And then he found out that there was a game, Biohazard, coming out in Japan, because that's what it is over there.
Yes.
And he thought he recognized something about it, but he didn't think anything about it or whatever. And just, it was like a distant memory to him. So he just kind of forgot all about it. And I think it was it Brandon that got in contact with him, the guy that did the George Romero documentary?
It might have been him, or is it JJ from Residence of Evil?
It might have been JJ. And then I think Brandon took over.
It doesn't matter which.
Yeah. So anyway, they got in contact with him and told him, like, hey, do you realize how big your character is and blah, 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 blah. And they, like, showed him all this stuff. And he's like, holy shit, all these years and I didn't know this. And I'm like, dude, like, that would fucking surprise the shit out of me if I did something, 30 something years ago, didn't know what it was about, and then see that I'm like an iconic character and I had no idea all these years. I'd be in shock.
He told me the same story too, because we talked on Facebook. Again, we're friends, and I've always appreciate just him talking to me at all.
Yeah.
Because I know how busy he is, and gosh, now you open up a can of worms with Resident Evil. I mean, excuse me. So Charlie and I are friends on Facebook. Anna Roy, you ever see the new Resident Evil Biohazard Resurrection fan film from Residence of Evil?
So I started, believe it or not, watching that, and then I fell asleep watching it. So I got to restart it over and rewatch it.
Me too. And also, you mentioned Brandon, his documentary. Have you watched that yet? Because I have copies of both.
So I was working that weekend where they were premiering it, where they got the rights to show the film at Creature Feature Weekend.
That's great.
And I had to sign an NDA and everything. I could not disclose anything. I could not, like, take any pictures, video. I couldn't do nothing. So, but I was manning the door for the viewing, so I actually couldn't even get into it. I was just told that I just had to make sure people had wristbands and that they signed the NDAs, and then once they did that, then they were allowed in. So I never, unfortunately, got a chance to see it, but it is on my list to watch, because I make a list of movies I want to watch in a year, and I go through them, like, sporadically throughout the year. It's not like consistently or anything. It's just whenever I get a chance to.
So, okay, you're inspiring me to do the same thing. So I hope you don't mind me stealing your ideas.
No, I don't.
I'm gonna do something for you once we're done here with this episode. There's a couple of documentaries I found that are Resident Evil based, and it's about the original creator Shinji Mikami.
Okay.
There's two different documentaries on YouTube. I'll send you the links.
Okay.
It's just like, it just brings you back. It's like, no wonder you love this franchise, because so much work was put into it.
Yeah, I will admit one thing. For 1996, when that game came out, that game was very ahead of its time. Even though graphically it wasn't ahead of anything, it was the mechanics in the game, and it was how the camera angles were in that game. Because as we all know, the camera doesn't move once you get to a certain spot. You have to, like, navigate, and you have to actually think about your movements, and not just, oh, the camera's following me, I'll just, move to the right, move to the left. No, you have to think almost the opposite most of the time. And you really had to strategically plan how to play that game back in the day. And I think that's what set that game so far apart from anything else at that time when it came out.
You mentioned strategy. Talk about the jump scares.
Yeah, so the jump scares for 1996, that was terrifying at the time. Nowadays, It's like nowadays, you know. It's just like, oh, this was scary. This ain't nothing nowadays.
Play it in the dark and then tell me otherwise.
Oh yeah, well, definitely play in the dark. I mean, for me personally, the scariest game to play in the dark is definitely Dead Space.
I need to play that, and you're going to help me.
It's such a good game. 3 you don't have to play. 3 they try to do something completely different with the game. It worked. Yeah, the story's good, but you don't have to play it. You can just play Dead Space 1 and 2, and you're fine after that. You don't have to play 3.
Well, I'm still going to pick your brain when it's time, and it's like, hey, I'm ready to play Dead Space. Help me out here. Just guide me. Which version should I get, and where should I start?
So, do you play on console mostly or computer?
Console. I'm a physical collector, but I do have a PC also.
Okay, I would recommend getting Dead Space on like Xbox. I felt it played the best on Xbox if you have one.
I have a PS5 Pro.
Okay, then PS5 will work too. Yeah, that will definitely work as well. I just felt that on Xbox, I think it played smoother, and I think the controls made more sense in my brain of how they worked. I mean, the button layout is the exact same pretty much on PlayStation, but the way that game is designed is there's not a heads-up display. It's literally just your character, and you're just walking. Your ammo is actually shown on the gun when you're aiming it. So you don't.
That's cool.
So you don't know how much ammo you have most of the time, and you don't know when you have to reload either, because you're not seeing a little heads-up display with like your ammo count and all that.
Well, rule of thumb when it comes to any game like that, let's take Resident Evil 4, for instance. It could be the original or the remake. It's like every time you take an enemy down, reload. Reload.
Yeah, that's always been my philosophy with like any shooter game of any kind. If you have a chance to reload, do it, because you may not have that chance.
Exactly, and it's like you don't want to get bitten by a zombie, when you're in the middle of trying to reload, and it's like, well, that's what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
You got too trigger happy.
Yeah, yep. And you just gotta with Dead Space also, there is like a freeze technique, kind of, I guess you could call it. I forget what they call it in the game offhand, because it's been years since I played, because I've been at 100% like so many times. I'm kind of like over it. So there's like a freeze method where you can slow down enemies to almost where they're frozen, but then slowly as time goes on, they start to come back out of that freeze state. So like you have plenty of time to take them down, but you only have so much of that technique to do unless you refill it. So that's one thing you got to be mindful of.
Yes. So just another learning curve.
Yes, pretty much. And I recommend playing the first one in the dark, because it really brings the experience like to a whole new level.
Well, wait. Well, he already left to go back home to Florida, but I have a sound bar in my home that's not installed. He's like, you need to install it. And I'm like, why? I mean, I get good volume on my TV. He's like, just trust me on this.
A sound bar is night and day difference.
Well, I can show you. Well, again, offline after the episode, I can show you what I got, and you can tell me if it's worth, moving forward with, or if I just upgrade to a bigger, better one.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so let me. I got a question for you actually now.
Go ahead.
What game are you most proud of that you 100% completed?
Recently, Resident Evil 9.
Okay, that's fair.
Because again, 15 days, I got 100%. It's like, and then I told you, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's pretty quick actually for a new game.
Well, to be fair, I was also on a 4-day break just so I could play Resident Evil 9. I took
that's
that
fair.
Friday and that Monday off, and my district manager's like, well, I know what Chris is doing. He's going to play Resident Evil 9.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's it. That's the only thing, boss man. I'm also getting a tattoo, my first one.
Oh, no shit. Oh, dude, that's sick. What's that from?
It's for my dress blue uniform.
Oh, okay.
It's my insignia from my Navy days.
Dude, that's cool, man. I really
and that's
appreciate
a perfect replica of what used to be on my dress blues.
Well, I appreciate your service, sir.
Oh, no worries.
So,
just a quick recap. I served during 9/11. I was home on leave, and I was ready to go back like that day. Once my mom told me that the Pentagon was attacked, I was like, I know where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
It never happened. My senior chief actually called me near the end of the week, make sure I was okay. Then not long after that, obviously, we went to Afghanistan and got into that 20-year mess. And then during that time, we also went to Iraq, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom was so scared. She was like getting fake clips off CNN. Like, I heard your ship is in so-so. I'm like, no, I'm nowhere near what you just said.
Huh.
You say you're safe? I'm like, Mom, I'm completely safe.
Safe. I mean, that just proves a point. The news is not always the news.
No. Well, just to be clear, I do pay attention to current events. I don't rely on corporate news. I watch stuff on YouTube.
Good. I'm glad I know another person that does that, because I don't know too many people that do that.
Well, no, I'm serious, because independent YouTubers share a more honest opinion, if not facts.
Yes.
And it's more rational. It makes much more sense. It's more compassionate towards people. It's like, I'm not of either side of the party. If we're going to get political, I'm an independent.
Yeah.
Think of it like this: like one side is running amok, and the other is like, "Oh, you want to rob my house? Here's the key."
Yeah.
Screw this.
Yeah. Agenda Free TV. If you've ever heard of them, they are a really good one to watch.
Send me the link if you can.
Yeah, and I have a couple
more if you want.
Yeah, I have a couple more too that are really good sources that, like, I watch that over anything else, or I just see their posts, and I'll pay attention to that more than what I'm just seeing on news, we'll call it.
I might get some flack for this, but I can tell you the ones that I watch. I never admitted this publicly before, but Keith Edwards is one. Jack Cucciarella is another. Jesse Dollamore, Farron Cousins, Midas Touch Network.
Okay. I got you.
That's where I get my news from, because it's like they're not a corporation. They're not, they're not CNN or anything like that. It's like they're not a conglomerate. They have a lot more freedom of speech.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need the freedom of speech to come back and not have this like butchered, edited, like what people want to hear kind of stuff. Like, we need to tell the truth.
I mean, I don't give a crap what side you're on. Just don't be a prick.
Yeah, I'm with you there 100% on that. I really am. But anyway, so back to video games now. For me, my game that I am most proud of 100% completing. There's a couple. I am most proud of probably beating the 3D trilogy of Grand Theft Auto 100% completed on PS2. Because that was like the only games I freaking played on PlayStation 2.
So we're talking about 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Correct. And San Andreas was probably the biggest headache for me to 100% complete. Because, like, I had the guide and everything. It was just, there was so much to do in that game. And it seemed like it was never going to end. And it just seems like, this is just me being a veteran player of Grand Theft Auto, but it seems like from GTA 4 to 5, like, it seems like 4 they got lazy and they didn't put as many things for you to do in that game, and then 5 they kind of were bringing back, let's like give all these extra things to do because San Andreas was so like successful and people loved that there was so much to do and everything. But it seems like with GTA 5, there's almost too much to do.
Well, and you know how that game's only been out 10 years.
Yeah, and it's got 10 years of content.
We're waiting on 6.
Yeah.
And people are getting frustrated, like, the date keeps pushing back. I was like, no, that's good.
That is good.
That's real good, because it gives me time to play more games that I need to finish.
Yeah.
And then that way I'm ready for 6.
Yeah, right?
And take more vacation as needed.
Exactly. So I didn't tell you this, but what I am doing currently is I'm doing what's called a GTA Gauntlet right now.
What's that?
So it was something I came up with like 2 months ago, and my girlfriend thinks I'm crazy to do this, but basically I'm going to be playing Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, GTA 4, GTA 5. I'm playing every single version I own of that game. So that's computer, original, and the definitive edition of 3. Same with Vice City and San Andreas. And I'm playing through, like I said, every single version I own of the game, and I'm 100% completing them before GTA 6 comes out.
Holy crap! So, you say the definitive collection. What system is that on? Because I have the PS2 trilogy for the Switch.
Yeah, so the definitive is on next gen consoles, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PS5. I'm pretty sure,
and also Switch. But which do you have?
Oh, I have them. I have them for Xbox One, PS4, and computer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have the computer, for mods.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
mods could be a beautiful thing depending on the game.
So, okay, so that's another thing I forgot to mention. I'm not doing mods. I'm just only doing patches to make the game, like on the original versions of these games, because the original versions, there has been obviously updates for 20 years almost now. So
I gotcha. Okay.
So there's like fan-made patches in order to make the games run as they're supposed to. So that's the only thing I'm doing to these games is I'm putting the what they're called silent patches. Silent patches, like a humongous thing amongst the Grand Theft Auto community for getting the old games to play like they're supposed to. And people have taken like the PSP versions of Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories and converted them to computer. So I can get the full game from, like, it looks just like the PSP version, just with 1080p graphics and computer controls. People have made them so playable now, it's insane.
I love that, and I'm glad that you know about it so you could teach me, because there's so many games that I want to play, in 1080p. Probably all of them, if that's even possible.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to pick your brain on that going forward.
Yeah,
but for right now,
absolutely, dude. And if you have any questions about like how to apply the patches, it's literally the most simplest thing. It's literally drag and drop. That's all you got to do for your computer copies of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas in order for them to operate with newer hardware. So
you're gonna look like a genius after this.
Well, it is a lot of research on my part, because I'm like,
sure,
I want to play GTA 3, but like it's not running right. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. This computer's brand new, and blah 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 blah. And then like just a couple quick Google searches, and it's like, oh, you got to put this silent patch on, which is from the creator Silent, and he's been modifying games to make old games playable for over 15, 20 years or whatever.
That's amazing.
Here's the free patch. Download it, extract it, drag and drop into your directory. Yep. Bam, you're done. You don't have to do nothing. And then you load it, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's in HD. It looks beautiful on this computer. It runs correctly. The controls work correctly. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why isn't there more people doing this,
That's a great question. So you said you have the PS4 copy of the PS2 trilogy.
No, I'm sorry. I have it on PS3, the PlayStation 2 collection. On PS4, I have the definitive editions, and on Xbox One, I have the definitive editions, which was like the what do they call it? The Unreal update for Grand Theft Auto.
Well, but okay, so going back to PS4, you have that trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my question, because the reason being is I have the Switch copy, and it's just loaded with glitches. It will freeze up on me.
So
does that happen to you on PS4?
No. On PS4 and on Xbox, no, it runs flawless.
Okay, so what I'll have to do is, and I don't mind, I'll just have to buy a PS4 copy, just keep the Switch one, and just remember that the Switch copy has the glitches.
So I can tell you this. So same people said the same thing about the Switch copy. It's because the Switch's processor is not powerful enough to process everything that's happening in that game.
Yep. That makes sense.
And Rockstar did not optimize it enough. And they thought they did, because they had it running on... I think it was like a simulated version of a Switch, and they were like, oh, this works perfect, it's fine. And then they released it, and it's like, no, it doesn't work, because that's not an actual Switch you tested it on,
Oh, good grief. All right, so Thank you, Josh. I'm going to get a PS4 copy of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy from PS2 to PS4, and then that way I'll have a glitch-free edition, and then the handheld that has the glitches if I ever become a glutton for punishment one night.
Yeah, right.
But no, the point was that the whole point of me, because again, I'm a consolidator when it comes to my collection. I try to put all the games on the Switch if I can, or the PS4 or the PS5. Because I want a physical collection and I want to be able to take it with me wherever I go. Because with you and I, with projects coming up soon, the momentum's just going to keep on coming. I just want, I guess my security blanket, like Linus from Peanuts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's my Switch. It's my security blanket.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, like, I would love to have a handheld console with me all the time, but the problem is I'd be so focused on that and lose complete track of what I'm actually doing and just be like that. Oh yeah, dude, once I get sucked into GTA, I'm sucked and I can't get out of it until like I'm mentally done with it.
Okay. So fun fact, when I met you and the rest of the cast and crew for Crimson Harvest, and I talked to Fee, especially after the first day, it's like, Fee, I'm just letting you know, I'm not bringing my Nintendo Switch with me, although your husband did.
Yeah.
He brought something with him, and it's like, I just don't want to lose focus, and I don't want to just be sitting on my ass just playing games when I could be helping on set, because that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
She understood that and said to me, well, there's a balance. Because it's like because especially being on set, you could attest to this too. It's a lot of hurry up and waiting.
Yeah, and that also goes into effect with normal jobs. It's hurry up and wait.
Yes, my job. My job particularly. What about yours?
Yeah, my job in particular. Oh, hurry up! We need this done. And then like we need a part, and then it's like 3 days, and it's like, oh, hurry up and wait. Here we go.
That goes for both of us, and I'm not complaining at all. It's just the nature of the beast. And I did have a problem initially when I worked on movie sets. It's like I'm sitting here and we're not shooting, and I was starting to get antsy. I was starting to get like itchy feet, like what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
But then I say after the 5th or the 6th project, it's like, well, that's just the nature of the beast. Like you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days.
Yeah, and I mean, I can even attest to this with even Crimson Harvest. Like I thought my scenes were going to get shot like in the morning or something. I thought we were just going to get done and over with, but it didn't. I think it didn't happen to like 1 o'clock or something like that in the afternoon. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I just chilled, hung out here, just networked with people, talked about life, and things like that. But another set I was on a movie set called Fragmented Mind, which is a psychological.
Which you and I were both there.
Oh yeah, you were there. Yes, I totally forgot you were there. That's right. Holy shit.
If you look at my Facebook photo at that time, Jimmy was the behind-the-scenes photographer.
Yes.
And he took a picture of me sweeping the floor, and at the time I was trying to watch Cobra Kai to get ready for Ralph Macchio and William Zabka.
You were sweeping the floor. I fucking remember that, dude. Yes.
And then I put in the caption, "Show me sweep the floor."
Yes,
he loved it.
Dude, I totally forgot you were there too. Because I didn't
forget you were one of the paramedics.
Yeah, I was like so in character, just so ready to go with RTK next to me, and we're planning out lines and stuff. And and then I was just like, when are we gonna shoot? And it's like 11:30. I'm like, dude, I gotta go home. Like, what the fuck's going on? And then it was, I think we finished at 1:30 in the morning or something like that.
That was a 17-hour shoot that day.
Holy Christ, that took forever. But
I slept the whole day the next day.
See, I'm crazy. I drove home. I didn't get home till 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't just stay here. I have nowhere to stay. There's no hotel. And my girl's like, hey, are you okay? Like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, yeah, it's just, I got pushed back, blah, blah, blah. And finally I text her, like I said, about 1:30. I was like, hey, I'm finally done my scenes. I'm coming. She's like, are you sure you can drive? I'm like, if I just get a soda, it'll be enough to get me home. And as soon as I get home, I'm just going to crash. She's like, well, what time are you getting home? I was like, well, it looks like it says about 4:30. She's like, oh my God, just stay on the phone with me for like an hour. I was like, okay. Because it was like almost a 3-hour drive for me to get there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So like that was probably the longest I've ever had to like stay up to do a shoot. But I understand that now because I also worked in the haunted industry. I still work in the haunted industry, but I used to work for Penhurst Asylum up in, oh my gosh, Spring City.
I always wanted to go there.
Yeah. So I can tell you this. So I was there from 2016 to 2018 or 2019, actually. I'm sorry.
That's right.
And it was a fun time. I learned a lot about like improvisation and how to, stay in character for long periods of time. So that's like my advantage coming to the table with being an actor is I already know these things. So I know how to pace myself throughout like doing a shoot or being in a haunt scene or, whatever. And I feel that really has helped me to get that experience before even doing like actual like movie acting. Because when I told people that I was a haunt actor, they're like, "Oh, you're going to be absolutely fine. You're going to do great. You have no issues going forward because you already know being on your feet all day is kind of the thing being a haunt actor because you have to be in character for over 10 hours sometimes."
Oh yeah.
So. But I, like I said, I'm still a haunt actor, and I actually work at a place called Leech Woods down in Damascus, Maryland. Damascus, Maryland's like this big country, like suburb city, about 40 minutes away from Baltimore. I think it's east or west. It's it's west. It's like 40 miles or 40 minutes west of Baltimore. So, but the unique thing about Leech Woods is that you're actually in the woods walking through and encountering different scenes that are happening. Now, it's not like you're in a house and you have to navigate a house or anything, like how most haunts are. It sets itself apart from all the other haunts that I have either been to or I've worked at. With Penhurst was great. I had a great time. I loved every moment of it. And I loved the people I worked with. But when me and my ex separated, it was like, I can't really go back there, So once that all happened, I moved out here into York, Pennsylvania, and met some people out here. And they're like, "Oh, hey, we work at a haunt." I'm like, "Well, I haven't haunt acted in like 4 years. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it." And then I did it, and now I have like my mojo back for haunt acting, and I do it every year from late September to early November. If you ever get a chance to come out to Leech Woods Haunted Trail, definitely come out. It's worth the money.
I'm going to. I'm hoping this is a plug so people can come and see you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love scaring people. That's like my favorite thing to do. And my character is, it's a cosplay I do, but I have different things I do with the cosplay. Like I don't do the traditional things I do when I go to like conventions, because I'm Jason Voorhees from Part 2 as a cosplayer.
I've seen pics of them and they look great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really did not put much work into that, but this year I'm going to be doing a ton of work to it. Be adding a lot of special effects to it. I'm going to make it look more realistic as much as I can. And I'm going to get more realistic looking weapons and put more realistic effects on them too. So that's going to happen this year, and I'm excited to do it.
So real quick, I'm going to give you 2 names that I want you to work with as far as props, and one in particular of the 2 I want you to work for in a horror movie, if that's even possible. One of the names is Bud Bullen. He's a prop maker. He was in Fragmented Mind, I believe.
Bud Bullen. Why do I know that? Hold on. Was he there that day?
He was. I think he was, and he was also part of Hunt, Chase, Kill with Paul Sutt. He's the other gentleman I want you to meet, if you haven't already.
Is he bald?
Bud is. Paul's got a full set of hair. He looks like
I know who Paul is. I'm just trying to think who Bud is, because I think he was the other guy that was with Paul and Xander the first time I met Xander. I'm pretty sure he was at Xander's table the first time I met him, and they were promoting Hunt, Chase, Kill.
I don't think not Xander. I don't think Bud was involved in Crimson Harvest. That's a story in itself that I can't repeat.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I know Paul was there also promoting Hunt, Chase, Kill, and he handed me a flyer.
And I didn't even know that he was in the movie until I saw the trailer, because I really thought he was just there as a prop maker, because he does that on the side.
Right. Yeah, no, he's got a unique
I remember
role.
I cracked a short joke on him. It's like, gee, that doesn't look high enough for you. Do you need a hand? He's like, you trying to tell me I'm too short? Yeah.
Man, Paul is such a cool dude, man. He's like, He's like what I inspired to be when I was younger. Like I wanted to be Paul, like just like that persona, like my whole life. And like I kind of am like that, but I'm not 100% like that. I'm just me, you know.
Right. On me, he's him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's perfected what I wanted to do, so I'm not going to take that away from him because Paul's the man, and I love Paul to death. And I loved everybody I've worked with in all the films that I've been a part of, and everybody's just so welcoming. It's like having another family. It's really great.
Exactly. And you mentioned Fragmented Mind. I'm glad that you were there too. Sander was there too, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
and Robert Todd Kennedy.
Yep.
And was it Daniel? What was his name? Daniel something?
Yeah, Daniel.
John?
Daniel John. Thank you. Yes.
Met him for the first time ever. He's a very nice guy.
So, another weird story about somebody added me on Facebook and meeting him in person. Daniel John added me on Facebook probably, I don't know, 6 months prior to Fragmented Mind.
No kidding.
I was like, who's this guy? And I'm like, okay, he's friends with this person, this person, this person. I was like, oh, okay, he's probably another actor person. And so I get to the Fragmented Mind shoot, and I didn't know it was him because he looks totally different in person than he does in his profile picture, right? And you remember Megan, right?
Oh yes, she was part of Fire, which you can find on YouTube.
Yes, she was part of Party Fire. Money Shot Megan, as I call her now.
Money Shot Megan? Explain that real quick.
So in Party Fire, there is a scene where some things happen with Mr. Fart the Clown that would be considered explicit for children, but
and it is because I was there.
They went off to a separate room because she likes a man in uniform, might I add. And some things happen where, little foreplay happens, and then all of a sudden a explosion happens on her, and I call her Money Shot Megan from now on.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, she thinks it's hilarious.
Does she really?
Oh, yeah. And I told her, I said, you ever get an 8x10 of that still shot, you have to sign it Money Shot Megan. Like, you have to sign it like that.
And for you.
And for me, yes. You have to sign it Money Shot Megan, or else I will not accept it.
That's funny because after that shot after that scene was shot, or the sequence was shot, I was helping move equipment for the next scene, next shot, and I see Megan, with her lipstick a little smeared. I'm like, is that intentional, or do you need something to brush up? Because everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's hilarious. Oh,
well,
that's
me being the quote unquote the dumb blonde sometimes, it's like I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. No, it's all.
There's no such thing as a stupid question. Only the ones you don't ask, right?
Right, exactly.
So I asked her, I was like, hey, everything need do you need
a little touch up there?
I don't mean that in a sexual way. I'm saying like, was the makeup that way intentional?
Oh yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, but
I wasn't trying to be dirty or anything
you're
like
good,
that.
Dude, you're good. But yeah, so Megan on Fragmented Mind was like, hey, you know who that is? I was like, no, who's that? She's like, that's Daniel John. He's like a really big independent actor. I'm like, wait a minute, Daniel John. Go on my phone. That's him? I'm like, that does not look like him. Like, who is this guy? She's like, he's a pretty big independent actor. And I'm like, and he added me as a friend. I'm like, oh, I feel some kind of way now. Like, I feel honored. Like, that's really awesome.
See, I was telling you a story before we started this episode about an actress that sent me a friend request, and then I found out that she knew about my work, but I knew nothing about her. And I'm like, how do you know about all this?
Dude, it's so weird, like, how you just are in these situations, right? And then just these things happen that you don't expect to happen, and you're like,
exactly,
how is this happening? Like, why is this happening? And it's because of that first step you took. And it's like how I put it is, your first baby step is your first step to becoming the bigger you, basically.
And I don't care where you start, or in my case, where it's just sweeping floors or mopping floors, with fake blood or
yeah.
party cake,
you got to start somewhere. You have to.
Agree, and I always volunteer for my friends. I mean, you know, we were talking earlier about, you know, getting paid accordingly. It's like with certain people, that's not the case. However, at the same time, if someone makes an offer to me, and I'm probably giving my game away right now, where it's like, okay, you want me a part of your project, but you're going to pay me. Most likely, I'm going to say yes. Just be cool about it.
Yeah, exactly. And
but it's like I don't really. And again, I'm giving the game away, but I don't negotiate. It's like make me a formal offer.
Yeah. I am at the point where I don't see the need to make like a fight for a payment. It's just like, hey, that's fine. I don't care. No worries.
Because for instance, the one movie I was in, I was offered pay, but then I turned it down. I went pro bono instead. It was a good decision too, because the director, I shouldn't be saying this, but he wasn't getting paid. I was like, well, I don't want to get paid, and I'll be solidarity for a buddy.
Yeah. So
he appreciated it.
So it was just because he wasn't getting paid, you didn't feel right taking money from him. Is that kind of what you're saying?
That, and also the fact that you've heard the expression paying your dues. I feel like that's exactly what I was doing. Whenever I was working on any set at all, Crimson Harvest is no exception either, Part of Fire, Fragmented Mind, Swine and Dine, I'm paying my dues. I'm earning the respect of my peers, as saying I'm trying to earn a reputation where people want me to work for them because they know that I'm going to do the best that I can, even if it's just digging a hole or sweeping a floor or mopping a deck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And
I'm already moving up because next week when you and I are working together, I'm holding the boom mic and I'm also camera B.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's a big deal.
It's funny you say you're doing the boom mic, because I actually did that for Ron Black the Friday, not Friday before Creature Feature started, but the Friday Creature Feature was starting. I went to Freeland, Maryland, which is 20 minutes from where I live currently, and I was actually. Yeah. It was with Lou Temple. The twin girls were there with obviously Mom and
Diane.
Yes, Diane.
And the Clayton twins.
Yep, those twins. And John. Oh my gosh, what's his name? John. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. He's in Party Fire.
John.
Oh my
John
God.
Casual?
Yes, thank you. John Casual. Yes. John Casual was in this too. And Ron Black invited me to come on set to help if they need help with anything. I was like, oh yeah, sure, absolutely. I'll come by. It's only 20 minutes from my house, and I have to go to Creature Feature later that day anyway, so it works out perfect. And I was there with Lou Temple. We got to talking, and I was talking with John Casual also. And John Casual is like so smart. He's like, and I didn't even know this, that he was like a music producer of some kind back in like the 90s or something, where he did like,
heard his story too.
Oh yeah, dude, where he did like all the remixes to songs and shit. And I'm like, you're that guy? You were the guy that did that? He's like, yeah, that was my job. I'm like, that is so cool to meet a person that was in charge of doing all these remixes for these songs in the 90s, because I wondered where all these remix songs came from. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, did the artist release it, or did the label just do it themselves? You know, like, how did that happen? And I found a guy that actually was one of them that did it.
And John Casual, well, two things. One, he's an entrepreneur. There's no question of that. And secondly, he's happy to share his knowledge with you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, dude. He's a very, very smart guy. And I learned his history about where he came from. And I'm like, that's kind of funny, because we sort of came from like sort of similar backgrounds, but not to the fullest extent the exact same, but same kind of struggles we dealt with as, you know, kids growing up and whatnot. But But anyway, on that set, I was actually the boom mic operator, which I've never done a day in my life. And
I think I saw behind the scenes photos on Ron Black's Facebook. Might have been yours too.
Yeah, it was.
I should have commented, but again, my ADHD, so I apologize.
It's okay, dude. So I did that for the first time, and actually, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was actually kind of fun, and to see, like, I didn't know that there was this much involved with it. Like, when you turned up the mic on the monitor for the boom mic, like, I heard pin drops down 2 floors. That's how sensitive those things are.
Did you ever watch? Was it Nightmare 6? Freddy's Dead?
That one I have not seen yet. I am slowly working through that franchise. I'm now going to be on New Nightmare, I think, is the next one I have to watch.
So you didn't see Freddy's Dead?
Not yet. No, I went so out of order because I was like, oh, I'll put this one in, or whatever.
I watched the franchise backwards, so sue me. It was like, oh, this is the latest one that's available. I had missed out on these because I was a kid and I was just growing up.
Yeah,
I could watch them.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. You're just picking and choosing.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, that's
but no, you mentioned the point about like you could hear pin needles dropping. That I was using a reference of Freddy's Dead, and I'm not going to say anything else. I don't want to ruin it for you.
No,
just see for yourself. Fine. Get back to me and see what you think.
Okay, I definitely will.
To be fair, but you're right. I mean, so you got to hear everything. I didn't. I just held the boom mic.
Oh, okay.
I had somebody else listening.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I had somebody else listening. She had the meter, to adjust the volume and things like that. She could hear everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then my director, Brian Wild, this was on a different project, my first paid gig. He showed me how to hold the boom mic, and then he physically helped me adjust. And he's like, "Is it okay if I help you physically adjust?" I'm like, "Brian, I don't care. You do what you have to do."
Yeah. Right.
I don't care. Just help me help you so we can get through this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a little uncomfortable depending on how you hold it, because the one scene I actually had it on my shoulders here and going back, right? Yep. Which is like, yeah, holding it like that like isn't uncomfortable at first, but when you're holding it there for 20, 30 minutes at a time, it starts to get really uncomfortable really quick, and you don't want to lose that position because it's like the perfect spot, literally, where you're not in frame and there's no shadows, none of that stuff, Yeah,
that's one way. The way I do it, because I have such long, lanky arms. You know that because you met me.
Yeah,
we met in person. What I do is I hold the boom mic like a staff, not a staff, but was it a halberd? If you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Like a halberd, like a knight, like a knight from back in the medieval days. I hold it like that, and then when it's time to adjust, then I adjust, and then trying to get that position right is like your arms and your wrists and your hands start to shake.
Yes,
and especially that one morning, everyone thought I was was it over caffeinated? But I was like, no, my blood sugar's crashing. Let's get through it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I held it like that first, and then I just actually sat it right on top of my foot, and it was up high enough and angled down enough to where it was picking up everything perfectly. I'm like, okay, this is a little more comfortable. I can't hold that position much longer.
No. Yeah, and no one expects you to either, let alone me. And if I ever hear that you're working like this the hard way, I'm going to ask you why.
Yeah. You
got to prolong your health.
Exactly.
In fact, dude. I'm thinking about in future projects where whoever I work for and I'm holding a boom mic, and maybe next Saturday we'll see. I'm going to ask, it's like just for future projects going forward, is like can a boom mic be connected to like a stand or a tripod? That way, if I have to take breaks or something.
Oh, yeah. No,
I'm sure the answer is yes. It's just a question of how often and when.
Yeah. Exactly, dude.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But you did more than I did with a boom mic. And then, what was it? Last project, what was it? All I did was just turn on camera B, on and off camera B, but that still counts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the camera's already positioned. I didn't have to do anything special. Just like, turn it on, turn it off when I tell you, and that's it.
Yeah.
That counts, right?
Yeah, it technically counts. I mean, any little thing you do on set, I think, should count towards something. I
think so too. No matter, because I'm the type of guy where I'm my own worst critic, and it's like, well, it was just a one-off, or it was what was it, a fluke? But I don't believe in that. It's I was like, if you did it, you did it. That's it. No questions asked.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter how.
Exactly. So, what time is it? Oh, it's almost 4:30 already. Wow, we've been here for an hour and a half already.
That's right.
Gosh, wow, time went quick. So, I'm about ready actually to get out of here.
All right.
I got some stuff to do, but I appreciate you so much for having me on your podcast, and I will definitely come back on anytime you want me.
My pleasure. I mean, you're definitely welcome back for a second episode. And before we end the episode, is there anything you want to plug or anything you want to say to your audience?
Plug this. Loose Ends, Victim No More Part 2. I am in that film as an extra. Crimson Harvest, as we have been talking about. Obviously, check out the trailer. It's on Vimeo. Just Google search it. You'll find it. Fragmented Mind. Be on the lookout for that, because I'm in that also as well. My social medias, I don't know if you'll have my name displayed in the video, but it's Immolated Souls there. Just look for me on social media. You'll find it. It's not a real easy name to remember, but it's pretty easy to pick out from all the other social medias out there.
I'll make sure to provide links in the description below.
Yeah, and I'll send you a link so it has everything for you to see. Look me up on IMDb. Also, you'll see all my credits there. Check out Neon Fear. That was the first film I ever did. I did a voiceover in that film. It's a fun little fan film about Friday the 13th, and a whole lieu of different films are influencing this film, like Evil Dead, Running Man, all kinds of stuff. Just check it out if anybody has a moment. It's free on YouTube to watch. I'm also in First Jason's Foul Deeds music video. I did that about a month ago now. That was filmed out in Pittsburgh at a magician's house. It was really cool. It was a really good time. I was one of the royal vampiric members of the family. Just follow my socials and just check me out and see what I'm up to. And again, I appreciate being on the podcast, Chris. I really appreciate you.
Oh, no worries. We'll get you back on soon. Now that you lit a fire under my ass, who knows where this is going to go now, because I hadn't done this in 4 months, but we'll get to that in another episode. Just meanwhile, thank you for coming. Happy that you were here, and until next time.
Yeah, and we'll do a straight video game podcast the next time. Like, let's just do straight video games, because I would love to do that.
Anything you want.
Sounds good to me. Thank you again, Chris.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right, you too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.